Hi, ARK fans. Welcome to ARK Invest Daily, your daily dose of ARK information. Today is Good Friday and the markets were closed, so we are going to do Spotlight series instead. And today we'll be putting spotlight on all the four major social companies: Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest. All four are present in ARK funds. And let's try to see which one are they most bullish on, which one is their biggest investment, and which one is their lowest, how they have been climbing up or climbing down in the ranks of their portfolio of 272 companies. So stay with me, please like and subscribe, and welcome back, guys. In Spotlight today, we have the four big social giants from Silicon Valley: Facebook, Pinterest, Snapchat, and Twitter. And these are the three charts that we will go over for ARK's position in these four. Shares count trend, stock price trend, and market value trend. Market value is function of these two, obviously. So let's go over them one by one, see which one are the most bullish on. Let's go with Facebook first, which is the biggest of the four that we are doing today. Facebook, the share count is least compared to all of the others, but that just could be because the stock price is more, right? So yeah, look at the stock price is higher than other three, and the share count is lower than the other three. And hence, if you do a function of these two, market value is somewhere in the middle. So let's see. Let's take a look at the share count. So it started, I started recording data from January 26th. So since then, let's take a look. So it was 0.7 million shares at that point, and it kept on growing up till somewhere in February 25th. Up till that time, I see it has been growing to 1.1 million, and then after that it's been steadily decreasing and suddenly decreasing also at some points. Look at this, minus 20%, minus 8%. And they have been selling Facebook stock, reducing Facebook stock, and all the way down to 0.3 million only. And this has been said by Cathie in multiple interviews that these well-established companies, they treat them, or the FANG companies, they treat them as cash because they do have growth potential. I won't say they don't, but at the same time, they don't have as much growth potential as some of the other companies like Tesla, like Nano Dimension, like Palantir, DraftKings has. So they treat these companies as cash, and whenever the other growth companies, the real growth companies that are in very nascent stages right now, when they go through their bad phase, like they have a dip in the share price, that's when they sell these bigger companies and buy those ones. So as you can see, February, later part of February, it was pretty red market, and hence they are probably selling this one to buy the growth companies. Again in March as well, position is down to 0.3 million shares, which is still not bad at all. And the stock price has been kind of steady. It's not that bad, from 282 to ending in 294. So it's not a lot of movement there. That's the reason they treat it as cash, because it's very stable, kind of stable, like Apple is, like Microsoft is, Facebook is that way. By the way, Facebook has big lawsuits going against it in like 50 states, and it's about breaking it into multiple companies. And what they say is that if they break it into multiple companies, then the stock price should go even higher. They were quoting examples of past such big companies that were broken down into multiple companies, and those broken companies collectively made much more profits than one big company. So that may happen to Facebook, and the stock price may pick up again because of that. So pretty stable right now, but because they have sold a lot of shares, the market value increased up till sometime around February 25th, and then started going down. So it's starting with 0.2 billion position down to 0.1 billion position. So they have reduced it to half. And these are rounded up value, guys. Actual value, I'm not sure. I can find that, but it's the rounded value here in these charts. So let's take a look at the Pinterest now. Pinterest is a company which was rumored to be going to be acquired by Microsoft sometime in February, but that never happened. Microsoft was in market to buy a social company for sure, because they were trying to buy TikTok as well, but that did not go well either. And Pinterest also, there was rumor, but did not happen at all. Pinterest has about 100 million active users monthly. So that's the reason Microsoft was interested in buying it. But who knows, maybe in future they will. But right now, Pinterest exists as an independent company. The share position started with 6.2 million on January 26th. That's when I started recording the data. Has gone down significantly for Pinterest as well, down to 3.1 million shares, exactly, reducing in half. Just like Facebook looks like, but Facebook reduced more than half. Stock price is kind of stable again, not big movements. Starting with 64, ending in 74. There, it went all the way up to 89 also, and at one point. But yeah, coming down to 74, which is not bad at all. Still an upward trend, I would say, from 64 to 74. And then market value, because they sold a lot of shares, they reduced the position, and hence the market value is down to 0.2 billion from 0.4 billion. But if you look at Facebook, it's much more than Facebook. Facebook reduced from 0.2 billion to 0.1 billion. Pinterest was 0.4 and down to 0.2. Let's take a look at the Snapchat, which is very, very popular among young generation, Gen Z generation, and a lot of people are on it. So let's take a look at it. They have more than one product. So they have this chat software out there, which is their main product, and they also have glasses now for AR. So that's also pretty cool, actually. When you look at it on their website, it's pretty cool glasses. So starting the position on January 26th at 3 million shares, going all the way up, buying a lot more to 6.6 million, and going down again. Sold 24% of the stake in that, and then ending up in 3.2 million shares. So a slightly different story from Facebook and Pinterest. It started low, went all the way, more than doubled it, and then came down to 3.2, but still higher than what it started with on January 26th, 200,000 shares more than that. Stock price is much less than other three companies, and let's see how it started. Started at 53 in January, and $53, ending in $49.60. Again, pretty stable, no big movements there. At one point it reached 69.5, which is almost $70 per share. So yeah, in terms of stock price, again, similar story, quite stable, didn't move so much. And the market value obviously is just following the trend of shares count. You'll see, because this is pretty constant, market value follows the same curve as share count. So started at 0.2 billion, ending at 0.2 billion. It is rounded up value, obviously, but in sometime in middle, which is February 23rd, it more than doubled its market value there. Oh, I just remember that we are not looking at the ranking. So we'll take a look at the ranking separately for the four companies, I guess. Let's go over Twitter real quick. Twitter starting January 26th at 1.4 million shares. They kept on buying, very bullish on it. And the reason I tell you is because Twitter is trying to be a paid service, a subscription service, a premium service, and a free service, a combination of those two. And hence, and they've told about that as well, that they will be soon. I don't know when. They did provide some date range also, but they are trying to be very profitable by going as a subscription service, rather a paid service rather than as a free service. So let's see when that happens. So that's when they started really buying Twitter quite a bit. It was featured in many episodes that I did. Stock price, let's see, because of that news, I think went up, starting with $49 on 26th January, going all the way to 74, 77 at one point, and now down again to 63, which is not bad at all. Starting with 49 and right now at 63, so kind of an upward trend. Since this doesn't have a lot of movement, the market value kind of follows whatever is the value for the curve for shares count. So it went up all the way and then went a little bit down because the stock price went down. $0.4 billion invested in there. So Facebook was, so if you take a look at all four of them combined, Facebook is at $0.1 billion, Snap at 0.2, and Pinterest also at 0.2, but obviously there is a gap here. These are rounded up values, so this is probably little under 0.2 and this is little over 0.2 billion. And our Twitter is the highest investment from ARK is zero point 0.4, so that takes the cake. That wins. They are far more invested in Twitter. They are far more bullish on Twitter. Basically, on the news of Twitter going to be a paid service in future, a subscription service in future. So now let's take a look at the ranking real quick. We know that I think I have shown this visualization in past as well multiple times. This is such a messy graph, but give it a second. It becomes super interesting as soon as we click on one of them. So this is nothing but the ranks of 272 companies that ARK is invested in. So how the rank has been moving for Facebook. Let's see. So on January 26th, it was ranked 57. This company in our portfolio of 272 companies, and it started going down, moved up a little bit, and down all the way to 99 rank right now. So that's Facebook. Let's see how rank of Pinterest has been. Started with rank 35 and went down all the way to 59 right now. So Facebook and Pinterest, if you remember, was a similar story up in the charts that we saw. They started at a higher market value and ended up half of that. Snap, again, let's see, it started at 74 rank, went up to 37 rank, but then again went down all the way to 69 rank. If you remember, its chart was like this, yes, and that's the kind of the chart for the ranking as well. Let's take a look at the Twitter. Constantly climbing up, started with 109 rank and going up all the way and to rank 29. So that's Twitter's chart, guys. They're super bullish on that. So my pick, if I have to invest, if I have some extra money, if I have to invest in any of these four, I will invest in, yes, Twitter, or maybe Facebook, or maybe Pinterest. Not Snap though, but maybe Snap also. It's tough to pick because Twitter, because it's going to be a paid service in future. They're going to be very, very profitable. Facebook, because they might break this company into multiple parts, like Instagram separate, Facebook separate, and WhatsApp separate. If that happens, it's going to be much, much more profitable is what people are envisioning. So that those two are super interesting. Pinterest, because it could get acquired by anybody, maybe Apple, maybe Microsoft, people with the companies with the big, deep pockets, maybe Amazon, who knows. Snapchat, on the other hand, Facebook tried to acquire Snapchat long, long ago, but it didn't sell out. So they are standing tall, and they have a big evaluation right now on not just a chat software, but they are diversifying into other areas as well, like AR. So all four great companies, I would say. But if I had $100 today and I had to invest in one, I would do it in Twitter. That's my pick, guys. But obviously, do your due diligence and before investing. So that's pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for listening in, and please like and subscribe and support this new channel, and I'll see you tomorrow.